Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to JBDC's virtual Biz Zone. We apologize, we're a little bit behind time, but we are here and we're ready for you just as any other time to get things going. My name is Dania Bennett, your host for today, and as usual, this time slot is facilitated by the JBDC's Technical Services Department, responsible for assisting clients with their product development needs from concept to market. And so last week, we actually looked at lavishly leather jewelry. And this week, we decided that we will be taking a step further, learning a little bit more techniques that can be useful to us as we try to navigate product development ideas and new jewelry that we can decide to embark on, whether as a hobby or business. Specifically for us, we would love for you to take it on as a business. So this week, our presenter is back again, Mr. Alao Luqman. And for our new participants, I'm just going to give you a brief bio of him. Mr. Luqman is a Nigerian artist and volunteer cultural diplomat to Jamaica. He holds a bachelor degree in painting from the University of Lagos and a Master of Fine Arts printmaking from the University of Benin. He's currently pursuing his PhD from the same university. He was awarded Student with Leadership Qualities in 2008 at the University of Lagos Endowment Scholarship Awards. And of course, two times first best faculty of arts researcher at the University of Lagos Annual Research Conference and Fair 2016 and 2017 respectively. He has acted as curator for the University of Benin's second eminent lecture series, Culture at Risk, in honor of Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka 2016. He has done numerous commissioned works and participated in several solo and group exhibitions. He's a member of the Society of Nigerian Artists and a member of the Arts Council of African Studies Association. He has worked with the Tourism Product Development Company and the Ministry of Tourism Jamaica in 2017 and 2018, respectively. He has also worked with the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sports, and currently he is engaged with the Jamaica Business Development Corporation under the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. To add to his credit, he is a multi-talented artist who has facilitated numerous workshops such as tie-dye, batik, chasing and repoussé, and much more. So without any further delay, I'm just going to ask Alao. So Alao, are you ready? Um, to get ready to give you some more very interesting information. And of course, this week we're actually looking on a feel of Africa, an introduction to fabric jewelry. And I know we're all excited and waiting to um, to actually get that going. So Alao, are you ready for us this week?
Yeah, I'm ready. If you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you clearly. All right, welcome. Over to you.
Yeah, good afternoon again, and thank you very much, Dania, for the beautiful, wonderful introductions. And also, I thank all our participants who join us today again for another series of workshop that is jewelry making. And then and I'm very happy for what we've been doing so far, and I'm sure that most of our participants too who have been following us are very happy and also like what we're doing so far. Yeah, jewelry making that we've been doing, and also I'm sorry for the little delayed that actually just some little things have come about. So and following up for the jury, most of those jewelry that we'll be making, both bead making and wire work, and also the fabric jewelry that we'll be doing today, and some other ones, all those jewelry and all those accessories are connected together. If you'll be following us, you will know that you can incorporate all other area of jewelry into each other depending on what you want. Now, for example, now, if you look at this one, this is fabric jewelry. And most of the fabric that I use, they are off-cut fabric or scrap, because they are scrap. They are fabric that when you go to tailoring house or a fashion designer who or a mistress, most of those off-cuts, they throw them away. And then and how can we recycle them? These are the example of how or ways that we can recycle those material. And also, I wanted to tell you that most of the materials we'll be using today, they are recycled materials. I call them recycled materials because naturally, most of those things, they're thrown away. And one of the things the reason why I call it recycled material, I have another one at my back here. If you can see it, this is lithography plates. It's part of one of the major ones that we'll be using today. Lithography plates. Lithography plates, they are the lithography plates are plates used by the printing companies and is used by the printing companies or the commercial printers, but after their primary use, they dispose them away. And the example of this printing company, they are Gleaner, Observer, or any other company that does mass production of printing of the same item. And once they use them once, they can't use them again. They dispose them. And then this lithography plate, you can get it at Gleaner, and it's very cheap. I think we bought it about $25, 25 Jamaican dollars for one sheet, which you can make a whole lot of it. And also, again, I have some other bangles. Most of these bangles, they are kind of wear out. I bought them at downtown. They just put it down and they try to throw them away and also sell them. Sometimes you see some people selling them, but they're very cheap. I bought a whole lot of it for $100. And most of these things, you can recycle them by wrapping it with fabric, and then it turns out to be a wonderful bangle. You can see this is an example of what I'm talking about. I get them and then they recycle them and also make it into another new product. And also another thing I'll be using here again, we have some buttons. Depending of any kind of button that you want to use. But here today, I'll be using the coconut button. You can see them here. I have the coconut button in front of me. You'll be using it for whether earring or a necklace. And this is a very good example of a necklace made from the button. So they are very, very simple technique, which you could go about. And another thing I have here in front of me, that is the material we will be using today is what I am introducing to you. We have the Patters gum. This is it. We have the Patters gum. You can get this one at any of the hardware store. And also we have here again, I have the copper wire. As I told you that most of these jewelry, you can incorporate them into each other by using copper wire and using the wire gizmo to do the finishing of your product. And also here I have in front of me bead. These are bead. These are sand bead or the little bead which we're going to be using today without taking too much of our time. Now, what I will do now, as I've introduced the materials to you, what I'll do now, the first thing I'll do now is to cut out the shape of what I want from the lithography plates. Now, I have my lithography plate. Also, I have scissors. Sorry, I didn't introduce the scissors to you. This is scissors. And make sure that if you're working with it, the scissors you're going to be using for the fabric, and then will be quite different from the one you use to cut the plate. And also these are the fabric. You see, you can see I have a whole lot of fabric. That is called waste fabric from the tailoring shop. You know, these are off cut. After they cut them, they throw all those off cut. They pack them. Mostly they throw them away. I go there and pack most of those things and most of the off cut so that I can recycle them for what and we'll be using here. And so without taking too much of our time, I can see here, Dania is telling me admit, okay, yes. Now, what I'll do first, get my pattern or the shape of what I want. I have my paper here in front of me, which I'm going to cut as my stencil. The first thing I do here is to cut. I cut the paper. I get, what shape should I do? Okay. Let me make a circle. What I do here, I draw a circle out. Now you can see my circle. Fine, it's not perfect. It's not really perfect, but what I'll do, I fold the paper into 4 equal parts, and I fold into 2 first, then I fold it back again. Or sometimes if you have any other thing that you can use to draw your circle, you can make use of it. It's not necessarily you do this way, because I just make it very easy, and so that I have the cutting of the circle goes straight without giving me any more stress. And then what I do here is to cut. I cut the paper out. Now, when I open it up, then I have my circle. You see, fine, it's not really circle, but at least give me a kind of nice shape. But if you want a perfect circle, I can decide to use the bottom of this and it give me a perfect circle. Then let me draw it out for you to see what I'm talking about. Now you can see now, I can get a perfect circle from this. But I'm not going to use this circle because it's kind of big for me, so that I will be able to get that's what I want. Then I'll use one of the bangle that I'm going to make use of or recycle back to get a circle out of this. Okay, let me see how it goes now. Then I have my circle here. The next thing I do, I cut it out gently with my scissors. As I told you, you must have 2 scissors, the one you use to cut the metal and the one you use to cut the cardboard or the paper, and also you have the one you're going to use to cut the cloth. See it here, then I have my perfect circle. See that? This is good. Yes. Now the next stage, what I'm going to do now, then I take my lithographic plates. As I told you, lithographic plates, they are They are disused material which you can get from the printing companies or the commercial printers, because most of the time after their primary use, they throw them away, or they can't use them anymore. So what I'm doing now is to take the stamp, or take the shape of the circle. It's not necessary. It depends on what you want. If you want it to be a circle, you do it. If you want it in any shape, then you can cut it in any shape. Then you can see that I can cut easily. So what I'm going to do now, I cut around it first. Then the next thing I'm going to do, then I cut the circle out gently from this. And also when you're cutting it, make sure be careful so that once you cut it off, some of the rough edges, you keep it aside so that you won't enjoy yourself. Yes. Let me see that now. You can see what I get here. You see what I got here. This is one step. Now, the next thing I'm going to do now again, I take another circle. I got another circle out here. Oh, see, then you cut it out. Make sure when you're cutting, make sure you follow the line carefully so that you can have very clean cuts. Yes, see? Then I cut out another one now. And good enough, those of you who like a very big earring, you can use this as your earring. That's those of you who like big earring. But for this one now, I just want to use it. Yeah, anyway, I can also decide to use it for earring. And I put this one aside gently. Yeah. Then what I'll do here now, I have two pieces. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to cut three pieces for me to do the. Okay, got another one here now. Good. Let's go like that. These lithography plates, they are not very hard plates. With the scissors, you can cut it easily with no stress. It's not hard to cut. Very soft. Okay, I have this one. Then I have 3 pieces here now. So the next thing, what I'm going to do now is to select the fabric I'm going to use. I have many fabric here. You can see them. Of course, see. Oh God, these are beautiful. It's a wonderful, wonderful fabric. You see that? They are off cut. See? Oh, this is nice. Oh, I like this brown. Okay. Anyway, I need to choose one. Oh, I think I like this red. Oh, this red come out red. Okay, let me use the red. And maybe this time I can do more. Use more of the fabric. Now, the next thing now for me to do, I make sure that you know the front and the back of the fabric. But I'm not going to apply the gum, that is the glue, on the fabric, but I put the glue on the plates. Then I have my brush here, which I'm going to use to apply the glue on the metal plates. You can apply it on any of the side. So what I'll do here, put it on, then make sure you do it gently. When you apply your glue, make sure you do it gently. See that? Yeah, just rub it around. And once you do that, then apply it also. And now this is the back. This is the back of the fabric. So what I'll do now is then I glue it. So I did not apply the glue on the fabric. Don't apply the glue on the fabric, but apply it on the plate. Then I place it on it gently. Then do for the other two. So I repeat the same thing. Make sure when you're applying the glue, let it go extreme to the edge so that everything glued down properly. Then I put it on the cloth. Here again. Here you are. I do the same thing here. And I put it on it. Yeah. Now, the next stage, you can allow it to set, or you can just cut it off. So I have my second scissors here, which I'm going to use now. I have everything on my table, everything I'm going to use. So I don't need to, see? And I have that. Now, if I'm doing my cutting now, what I will do here now, I'll make sure that when I cut, I leave some little edge so that I can fold the fabric. This is what I'm talking about. Then I finish cutting and make sure that when you glue it, make sure it doesn't have any bubbles. It's flat. So I'm going to cut it round. Yeah. See? Then I cut it round. So it doesn't matter if the edges is not too perfect, because we're still going to fold it onto the other side of the plate. So I'll do the same thing for the second one. Then I cut it round too. Make sure don't cut it too close. Okay. I do this. I do the third one too. Make sure you press it, there's no bubble. Now, the reason why I asked to put the glue on the fabric. If you put the glue on the fabric, you see that you started seeing that it will mix up your work. But if you put the glue on the plate alone, so it didn't mix up your work and everything will stand still very well without mixing up your work. Okay, put this on the side now. Now what I'll do now, the next thing I'm going to do, take my glue back, open the glue, and make sure each time you're using your glue that you don't open the glue down totally. Although even though you put some of the glue inside a little container, then so do the same thing now. You still have to be closing it. Now rub it, see? Now this time around, you can allow your glue go off to the fabric. So that both the fabric and the plate have glue, but don't make it too heavy on the fabric. Yes. I'll do the next one too. Do the same thing, rub it. Make sure your glue go touches the fabric round so that both can have contact by the time you're gluing it down. Do the second one, and you do the third one. Then put that aside now. Then what I do here now, I cut the edges just to allow me to fold it round. That's what I did. So that's when I'm folding it round, it goes flat properly. And see that now. Then this is what I did for it neat. Wow. You can see that. Then check what I have. Perfect round. But then this is not finished yet because we still have the back. We have to do the finishing of the back. So what I'll do here, let me fold the other two. Then I'll repeat the same thing for the second one by cutting off the edges close to the metal so that it can allow me to fold it round perfectly. Fabric jewelry is one of the technique I love most. Very simple and fast to do. Once you have all your materials beside you, see that, then I repeat the same thing by folding, fold it round. Make sure when you're folding it, your hand is steady. See, I did the second one. Now, the beauty about it is that because those fabric, they are African prints, and you know, and they have so many colors that run to each other and so many designs, but then on the same fabric, you can see this one giving me some touch of yellow and brown line. You can see the little red coming at the side, while this one we can see here now, we see the same yellow that have more of here. I have it on this side and I have it on this side, a browning and also red here and some brown. So this one now, I do the last one. So which means that whenever you go to your tailor, or you take your fabric to your tailor for, or a seamstress to sew for you, most of those waste, most of the waste, they are, you can make use of them. You can make use of the waste, or you find yourself in a tailor shop and you discover that he or she have a lot of off cuts. Just demand for it, and then I believe they're going to give it to you because they don't need it. They always have plenty. They always have it. They always have it. Yeah. And check this now. Perfect. You see that? Now, remaining this side. Now for this side now, what I'll do now is to apply the glue. I'm going to apply the glue. The reason why I'm going to apply the glue on this side now, because at the edge of the fabric, there's no glue on it. So I want to apply glue both here and also touching the edge so that I place it on the fabric and I'll cut the edges round and everything have a perfect finishing. So what I'll do now, make sure you're working on a clean table so that so open the glue now. Yes. Now when you're doing this one now, make sure you apply it gently. So that you won't mix up your work. See the way I applied it. Okay. See that. So before it dries, then what I'll do here now is to place it on the same fabric. And stay. Make sure there's no bubbles. Then I do the same thing for the second one. Take your glue. Do the same thing. Then I do the third one. Then I glue it down. You can't really see it now. You can't really see it now, but because it's on the fabric, but by the time I cut it off, then you see it clearly. Take your sharp scissors and cut it round gently. Cut it round gently. Make sure you cut it close to the circle so that everything flush together. See that? You can see both front and the back. You can see the beauty now, both front and the back. So you do this second one too, cut the second one. Basically, what we're doing here, most of the material that we're using here, they are kind of recycled material that sometimes you don't necessarily have to have when the thousands before you can start. See that? Most of this material, they are all scrap materials. You don't need you don't need so much for you to start a business. And then again, what I'll tell you again is this: how can you make some, and then you can collaborate with a tailor or a sewing mistress. Most of their customers, once they sew their dress and you pick up the off cuts, and then you tell the sewing mistress that, see, I can make jewelry out of this off cut so that whenever the person coming to collect their cloth, they can also buy the jewelry and everything goes or matches together. Wow, so see that now. Now the next stage now, what I'm going to do. Now what I'll do here now, then I have my jump prints, and jump pins, which I'm going to use to incorporate everything together. You will be the one to choose how you want it or how you want the design to be. But before that, let me lay it down and see how I want my design to be. Put my pin here, and I put my pin here. May come this way. Okay. Or I can decide to put it this way. I have the yellow here, and I have this one here, and decide to put it this way. See the wonderful design I just bring out now. or I can decide to arrange it in this format. See that? Or I can decide to arrange it in this format. You choose how you want the design or how you want the necklace to come on. But on this stage now, I choose the one that have more of red, I put it at the middle, while the other side that have more of yellow, I put it at the both side. This is what I do. Let me place it on the white sheet so that you can see it properly. I don't know whether I can see it. Okay. Okay, you can see that. Yeah, that's wonderful. What I'll do here now, I'm going to stick it down together with this, but I draw the line so that I know the boundary of each one of them. Yeah, the next thing I do here now, fine, I think you can't really see the pencil and mark, but then and the thing there is that you don't necessarily have to put a kind of pen that will be showing, but a pencil is preferably for you to use so that by the time you finish, they won't be seeing the line of pen or marker on it. So I put the pencil, then I draw a little arc where I'm going to apply my glue. And when you are applying your glue, make sure that you don't go outside so as to make your work very neat. Apply the glue gently here. Apply the same thing here. So before it dries, then I come this way, I place this on it. Then I place the second one on it. I'm following the pencil line. And see what I did here. And see what I got here. Now the good thing about this now, you can use either of the both way. This, or you use this. So you decide, because both sides are covered with fabric. You can bend it, shaping it the way you want, and then it stays. You can see what I'm talking about here now. Even though that we've not finished it, you can see. Now you can see the design and you can see how the design is coming out. See that? Okay. Once you do that, you can allow the glue to set so that once you put it, it doesn't come off. I decide to allow the glue to set properly. That's what I'm going to do here now. I'll leave the glue to set so that why I leave this to set, let me make the design of the earring. So I'm going to do the same circle for the earring. Probably I use the same circle, but then I will prefer to reduce, or yeah, I can use it because there's some ladies who like a big earring. I can use it as earring too for the same thing. Okay, let me just use it so that we have the same shape or the same size. That is for those of you who like your earring to be big. So what I do here again, why I'm leaving that one to dry, then I'll draw another circle from the plate. Have two circles drawn from the plate. That's good. I have my scissors. Make sure you don't use the fabric scissors. Put this one aside. Yeah. I have so many things on my table. Yeah. A whole lot of materials to use. Yeah, cut out the second one. Very easy to cut, not hard. So throw this one aside, put it into the bin. Then I have this. Now, I believe this might have set now for me to glue on it so that once I glue, it doesn't come up again. The Patter's gum is very strong. Very strong glue, but only because you have patience for it to set. Once it sets, you glue in down. And to not, once you glue it down, you can't separate it anymore. See that? Wow. Wow. See? It's glued down properly. See? That's good. Wow. Now, the next thing we're going to do now is to create, just make a hole where you're going to put, see that? Now, I'm going to make a hole now where we'll put the jump ring. You can use nail. See the way I make the hole. Just, just, just put it across, then with that, put it on the other side, and then we use the plier to flatten it because this side will be sharp. That's it. Plier to hold it down and press down. That's it. And do the same thing from the other side. You need to calculate where you want to put your hole to make sure that everything falls on a line. Let me put this on the side now. And I use my nose plier so that when you press it down, you don't have a sharp edge. Now, why I do this, there are several ways which you can do your finishing. You can decide to put several jump pins, which are here inside this plastic bag, or you can decide to have another fabric thread, which is here beside me. I'm going to use the fabric thread and try and use matching colors when you're working. You use a matching color. You can see the red goes with this. Make sure you take the proper measurement. Take the proper measurement of what you're doing. I will make it as simple as possible so that I can be able to do some other design. I'll put like that. As I was saying that depending on how you want to do the finishing, you can decide to use jump in, or you can just decide to just pass in the fabric thread, which I'm going to do here now. And the fabric thread, yeah, because they are more of the same color. See that? They are more of the same color. And let it be equal. Not. You knot it. Just make sure that the knotting goes down, goes all the way down. I decide to knot it twice. And the way I did the knotting, I didn't do a very firm knotting, just to give a little kind of free and also give a feel of design on its own. I repeat the same thing at the other side. That's it. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to tie in my hook. I have different hook here. But I use a silver one. I think that one is more closer to me. Then checking the measurement from the neck here. And make sure you leave some free room. And see that. Make sure you leave some free room for it. So what I'll do here, I pass the 2 thread through the hook here. So this is what I wanted to do now. Go in easily. Passing this here. Oh, the 2 supposed to go in. Now this is what I did. I make a hook, which I can pull this thread across. Then I drag it in. Drag it in. Oh, bust up. Okay. Keep another hook there. Try to pass through this. Okay, I think the hole is kind of tiny. Anyway, what I'll do here now, I put a jump in. Well, in the best way, I just try to make it very, very, very neat and precise. But at the same time, you can still use the jump in because the hole here is kind of small. I'm going to jump in, pass it through the hole, close it back, and then pass in your thread. Before knotting it, make sure that they are equal. I'm going to check it now. Do the same thing from this side. Then close it. Make sure it's properly closed. What I'll do now is I'm going to knot the thread to the jump pin. Can knot it like 2 times. and do the same thing to the other side. Do the same thing to the other side, but make sure you have two equal size so that one doesn't go off each other. See that? And see what I'm talking about now. Yeah, that is same size now. Then I knot the other side too. Bless me. Knot it twice. And this is what we have. Then what I'll do now is to cut off the excess. I didn't cut too close because their thread is a kind of fancy thread that even it doesn't really, even though it fringes off, we still have, it still give you beauty of its own. See that now. That's beautiful necklace on its own. Now the next thing I'm going to do now, then I'll do the earring. So I've already cut out two circles for me to make the earring. But I repeat the same thing that I did at the initially, and then also put the hook on it. So what I'll do now, apply the gum, which is the glue. Apply the glue. Apply the glue. Make sure you do it gently. Take your fabric. Place it on it. You can look the way you want to place. If you want more of the red, you place on where you have more of the red. And if you want to place it on where you have more of the yellow, you can do the same thing like that. But for me, what I did here, I just tried to freestyle. Just free myself, not being rigid about where I want to place or whether I want too much of red or much of yellow. No, for me, I just want to free myself and just make design out. I do this now. So I'll repeat the same thing by cutting off the edge. So this time around, I might be a little bit fast because I believe that you've seen the first stage of what I did, but I'm just repeating the same thing I did at the first stage or at the initial stage. I did cut it, and then I cut out the edges round. See that? Make sure it's flat, cut it round. Then I do the second one. You see that? Make sure there's no bubbles. Can see it's very fast, but only because when I was doing the fourth stage, I make sure that I go a little bit slow so that you can catch up with what I'm doing. So for this stage, as I said, I was just repeating the same thing that I did. Get your glue, spread your glue. As I said, make sure your glue touches the fabric at the edges of the fabric so that both of them have contact by the time you glue them together. And repeat the same thing on this one. Spread it. See that? I allow it to set a little. Leave it to set, and while it's setting, okay. Oh, the first one set already. Then the cut. Just chop it round so that you can have a proper circle. See? So I'm repeating the same thing I did initial stage. Then I glue. If you've been following us, that is what I did at the first stage. And see that very fast. Which means that in a day you can do as much as possible. And then if you're just doing the earring alone, you can just decide to say, okay, yeah, I just want to do a whole lot of earring of different fabric and different design. That's what I want to do. Then you repeat the same thing. I chop up the edges so that you can have a perfect circle. See that? I did that. And the next thing I do now, I repeat the same thing. See that? Fast. So the next thing I'm going to do now, just like what I did at the initial stage, at the first one I did, then I apply the gum around this one again, and I make sure the glue touches the edges here, so that by the time I place it on the other fabric, it stick properly, so that it won't be peeling off. I repeat the same thing on this one. Then I set my fabric. As I told you, you can decide to choose either more of the where there's yellow or more where there's circle, but for me, I just want to freestyle myself. That's what I'm doing. I don't want to be too rigid. about where I want the plate or my design to be. You can choose to do that for yourself. And apply the glue at the edges because already I have the glue at the middle. And what you do before you set, put it on the fabric. Repeat the same thing on this. And place it. Make sure spread it well so that you don't have any bubbles around it. So I cut around the fabric so that I can have. Make sure when you're cutting, you cut it neat, clean and neat. That's it. See that? The front and the back. Good. Do the second one. I love doing fabric jewelry. In a day, you can do as much as you want. Different designs. Wow. See that? Clean. Watch out. Next thing I do here, take here and make a hole. Where do I have to make my hole? Let me check. Okay, I make the hole from the up red. See? Make sure it goes through. See what I did? It goes through. Come from the back. Do that. And then use a nose plier to flatten it so that it doesn't have any sharp edge. So repeat the same thing with this. Then flatten it up. Then here we have our jumping. Very easy to do. Easy. Easy. See that? Then take your plier and collect your hook. While you're doing that, just take your hook. Two hearing hook. I have it right in front of me. Yes. Open it up gently. Put it across. Before you close it, put the hook and close it up. Make sure it's properly closed so that it won't come up. See that? Wow. Oh God, I didn't have, how which I have N. See that? It is 50. Then you repeat the same thing from this one too. Maybe next time I'm going to pierce my ear so that when I finish the earring, I just wear it up for you to see how beautiful it is. And I repeat the same thing and I close it up. See that? Now the good thing is that both sides have fabric. So you see, any which way it turns, it's beautiful. And another thing now I wanted to tell you, because we're using metal, you can decide to shapen it this way. See the way I shapen it? You can see? If you can see it well, you can see the way I folded it. And also you can straighten it back and it should never break. See, it won't break. And also you can decide, you can turn it any other way, or you can leave it flat, round flat the way it is. See, let me do this one again. See that? Let me shaping it very well so that you can see, the beauty of it. And then you can see this one. I didn't shaping this one. You can see it's still flat, round. You decide what to use, or you just decide how you want it to be, because we're using a light plate which is covered with the fabric. So let me do this one, the same thing, so that we have the same design. Just, it's not hard to press. You see that? Then I have the same design. So let me bring the necklace and you see that. Wow, this is pretty. That's good, man. Now let me go to the next level, or let me do the next one again. The next one I'm going to do now is I'm going to make wrap of the bangles. Now, let me complete with this one, I'm making a bangle out of it. As I told you earlier on, most of these bangles, they are used one. They are used bangles which they've thrown them away. And then what I did, went to downtown, and then I just bought them plenty, and then you can rewrap them and make something new out of it. What I do now is I do the complete using the same fabric. Make sure you have the proper measurement of it. You see that? It is good. Then you cut a strip, long strip out of it. With my fabric scissors. Okay. Okay. Let me check it from now. Have this, come here, come here. Okay, I think we should wrap it. I'll cut a long strip out. See that? Goes round. I take the measurements properly. Okay. What I'll do here now, I repeat the same thing that I did by rubbing the glue. Then I rub the glue around it. Make sure that when you're doing it, you don't stain all your hand. You don't need to do it rough. Just do it gently. Press it down gently. Put your hand across. Then have your fabric. Put your fabric right from the middle. Make sure you're using the right parts. Make sure everything is flat. See what I did now? And I get it round. I can cut it from here now. See that? And take your glue now again. Just take a little glue, put it across the fabric. Let it go. Make sure when you're doing it, everything is neat. Don't mix up your work with the glue. Just apply the glue gently. What I'll do now is to apply the glue around inside this place, and also I'll allow it to touch the edges of the fabric so that by the time I lay it on, everything glue flat. So this is what I'm going to do. Apply the glue around. Take more glue. That's it. Make sure the glue, apply the glue at the edges. Let it go around. So I'm going to glue down one side first, which I've applied the glue, before the second side. Make sure when you're pressing it, press it firmly and together. with the bangle yet. Trying to wrap. Press it down so that you don't have any bubbles. Press it round. You can see one side. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I will just apply the glue again gently at the edges of this other side so that it can have contact on the inside. This now is what I do now. Then I do the same thing here now. Cut off this. Okay. Then I repeat the same thing. Make sure you press it firm. I'm making sure that the fabric overlap each other so that it can cover up the bangle inside. See that? That's it. Press it down firmly. Now, let me show you what we've done so far. We were able to make the necklace, the earring, and the bangle. This is the earring. A complete set. That's what we just made now. Set. See that? A complete set. Let me hang it up on this side. Okay. Let me have it here. Let me have the complete set here. Then you can see what we have here. Okay, let me move this one so that you can see it properly. See that? You can see how everything goes together. This is wonderful and pretty earring, the necklace, and the bangle. Thank you very much for following us and watching right from the beginning and to the end. And I really appreciate if you have any question before we go on, possibly to the next level or next one. I would like to see if anybody have questions on anything we've been doing so far. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Alao. Excellent as usual. I'm seeing where we have received numerous comments already about your presentation. And I've seen where some persons have actually gone ahead and placed their questions in the chat. So if in fact you do have additional questions for Alao, please go ahead and type them now. We're about to go through them. Okay, I'm seeing where Lisa Calendar made a comment earlier and said, beautiful. Michelle McDonald said, really lovely. Sharon Holmes is saying, have you found that particular brand of glue works best, Alao? So she's asking about that brand of glue.
Yes, it worked best. It worked very nice and make your work very fast.
Okay, I don't know if you want to, I see that you're busy trying to put the earrings up, but can you just show them that brand of glue just for any late persons that may have come in? Okay. Okay, so as Alao has mentioned that he finds that that glue works very well for his jewelry.
It worked very well. Yes, for the fabric jewelry.
All right, so Lisa Calendar is saying, I really enjoyed this workshop. I have to go, but thank you, Alao and JBDC. This was so interesting and exciting. I look forward to trying the techniques out. Okay, Michelle McDonald has also said, a very wonderful tutorial. Now I will have to go experiment. Thanks for sharing and best wishes for 2021. Okay, Anika John was actually asking about the glue again. So Anika, I believe we should have answered your question a while ago when Alao showed us the glue again. Susan
Okay,
is
can I show you the glue again?
No.
You can see. Okay.
All right. So Susan Broadberry is saying, for a newbie, where do you get the hooks to purchase? And she said, excellent, by the way, Alao.
Yeah, you can get a hook at Ligani Drugs and Garden.
Oh, okay. All right. So that seems to be a very good place to access little items that you may utilize when you're trying to make your own jewelry. Okay, Sharon Holmes is saying, gorgeous, very well done. Thank you so much. And Anika John has said, thank you very much. So I'm just going to leave the floor open for a couple minutes more, just in case you want to type any additional questions. But just to let you know that Alao will be presenting next week as well. He will be presenting the perfect finish wire wrapping pendants, and that should also be a very exciting tutorial for you to participate in. Okay, and please don't forget as well that you can actually visit our YouTube page at JBDC Jamaica to view this particular tutorial as well as any previous tutorials that we have done, including the one that we did last week, Alao, which was lavishly leather jewelry. So you can visit our JBDC Jamaica YouTube page, and you can actually get to view those tutorials and learn a bit more on how you can develop your own products. Or if you want general business advice or business information, we have a whole host of videos there that you can actually view to get additional information. Okay. I'm seeing where Michelle McDonald has said, count me in part 2. And Sharon Holmes is asking Alao for you to repeat where she can get all the tools utilized today.
Okay, you can get the glue at the hardware store. While the hook and jumping, you can get it at Ligani Drugs Garden, and also the same fabric thread, you can get it at Ligani Drugs and Garden. Why the lithography plate? This lithography plate, as I said, you can get that one at Gleaner, and they sell them. It's about 25 Jamaican dollars, because they are disused lithography plates in which after their primary use, they throw them away. And also, while the off-cut and fabric, you can get them from the tailoring shop, the sewing mistress or sewing master, or and the tailoring shop anyway, off cuts. They are just off cuts, which they just cut and then they possibly always throw them away. Most of the time they throw them away. So what you do is just pack them and recycle them. You can make a whole lot of it. You can make a whole lot of things from that. And also, basically those are the things we I use. Those are the major ones that I use. Once you have all those ones, I think you'll be able to do a complete work.
Okay.
And also the buttons. You can get the buttons at any hardware tailoring material store where they sell tailoring materials. You can get different kind of button, big one, small one, in which you can wrap. You can wrap them with fabric and make something out of it. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much, Alao. And what I really love about your presentation as well is that you're showing how people can actually recycle and utilize things that otherwise they would have thrown away to actually make valuable products. So I really love that part of your presentation. I'm seeing where Susan Broadberry is asking you, would you recommend making a pouch and insert the plate instead of using the glue?
Repeat that question, please.
Okay, she's asking, is it better to make a pouch and insert the plate that you would have cut out, or is it better to, instead of utilizing the glue per se then?
Yes, you can make pouch from it.
I'm guessing because in the previous tutorial, or when you did the earring, you had actually put the material onto the plate and glued it. So I guess she's wondering if she makes a little pouch with the material and then inserts the plate into that and sews it, if it would be better off than just gluing it.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So which one do you think is better though?
I think it depends on what you want to produce, and it depends how you want to go about it. But then most of the time, sometimes the glue is just to hold the fabric down to the plate. Even though if you still use the glue, and then if you're making a pouch, because making a pouch, you still want some places to be sewn. So it's not the glue, because there will be some places that the glue can't hold the cloth and cloth together. You have to sew it. So it's better for you both of them.
Oh, okay.
So that you use the glue where it is necessary, and you use the machine where it is necessary.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. I am not seeing any more questions right now. So I believe everybody is okay with everything that you have presented to them today. So I really want to thank you again for another fantastic presentation. It's really a pleasure having you here. And we really appreciate the fact that you have taken time out to do this series with us and just to educate us on how we can utilize simple techniques to really make fabulous jewelry. I'm always in love with your pieces. So I would really look forward to other persons making equally good jewelry pieces utilizing your techniques, and I would look forward as well to seeing them on the shelves. So thank you so much for being here today and for just educating us again. And thank you to everybody that took time out to be here today and who actually stay till the end of your presentation, because I know we all have so much that we can do within a day. So we value your presence here with us, and we look forward to having you with us having you here with us, sorry, next week as we look at the perfect finish wire wrapping pendants. Please don't forget, if you have any questions or if you need to get any clarity on any of our services, you can check us out on our JBDC social media pages, whether Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And you can also check us out on our website at JBDC Jamaica. And also, if you want, you can send us an email at info@jbdc.net. So until next week, we look forward to having you here with us. And it was really a pleasure having you all here today. So, Alao, any parting words?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone that joined us and participating and seeing what we've been doing so far. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week again for the next pendants making with wire. Thank you.
And it will be just as exciting.
Yeah,
Even more, right, Alao?
yeah, more, because with that one you'll be able to see how you can make pendants with wire and adding bead and some other precious stone and things like that. So it's kind of a little bit different from what we've been seeing every day. So it is another method in which we do in Africa, Nigeria. So it's very nice and very interesting. And when you watch it, you see that, oh man, this is another technique and another method which you can do your pendants. Yes.
Okay. All right. So we look forward with bated breath. So until next week, ladies and gentlemen, it was my pleasure being here today, and all the best. Please be safe and take care of yourselves. Goodbye.